Hi everybody, all my followers, welcome to another video. So this video today is on a Mercedes C-Class. I believe this is the C220. And what I've been told is that the car has no power. So I've been told. And apparently this happened after a problem with the steering lock. If you watch my videos, you have seen that video. I will leave the link in the description below for that video, where I don't really do the job as such, but I explain you how to resolve it, which is when the steering lock fails on this Mercedes, and basically you need to either replace the steering lock with a new one. You can try to reset it and reprogram it, but you need special tools for that. Or you can get, if you have the tools, if you don't, there is people out there that does it. You can recode what is called an emulator for the steering lock, and you're going to see that this is an emulator because you don't hear the steering lock unlocking when you put the key. As per my other video as well, whoever did the job on this car did exactly the same, because you're going to just hear the look-alike sound of the steering lock, which is the emulator that actually makes that sound. And I'm gonna try to see if you can hear it. Let me put it on this side maybe. Okay, so this is the emulator that has been put in here, and apparently this happened. This no power problem happened after this being done, which I've done this work, and it should not do that. It should not influence nothing else on the car. But the car was dropped on the other side of the road. I moved the car into here this morning, and I was just literally trying to start to work on a car, and I've noticed a few more things. I'm gonna have to ring the guy because he never told me these things. I'm gonna show you. First of all, I'm gonna start the engine, and what I want you to see is there is an ESP fault, and you're gonna see very shortly it's gonna come up a airbag fault. There we go. The light just came on in there, and we have the fault for the airbag. Also, I want you to see that the revs are about 1250, and look what happens when I press the brake. The car idles normal. If I take my foot off, so this is, I don't know why the car is doing this. I don't know why this would happen after doing the steering lock. I just don't know. I don't have a clue what's going on at the moment. So we're gonna scan the car to start with, and we'll go from there really. So I have the axes already. I'm just gonna keep pressing the brake pad, the brake pedal, so we keep the car idling just fine. I have the axes already connected, and we're gonna go from there. I did a quick scan in the morning, just to have a quick look. Okay, we started to load some stuff about the car. It's gonna press OK, and I don't have engine light, the engine light on, but because my problem with the engine. Oh, another thing, just while he does that, I want to show you, which is obviously I'm pressing the brake pedal still, but the accelerator does not respond whatsoever. Even if I take the brake pedal, if I release the brake pedal, still no response from the accelerator whatsoever. So I managed to drive the car from there to here purely with this over accelerated idling, sort of. So we're gonna let the maxi sister load, and then we'll see what we can find. Okay, so it's gonna go. So this morning when I scanned the car came up with a fault that you're gonna see in a second. Okay, the motor, the engine is the 646, which is that one in there. Okay, so this is my code. 23 dB current and storage. So the code is actually there. I don't know why it doesn't trigger an engine light and says check the injector injection quantity adjustment. Now because of this code, I haven't read the codes on ECU itself yet. I mean the code stored in there, but because of this, I was scanning the car this morning, but then I had to stop. Anyway, just before I started this video now, I went and I took the codes, the injector codes, and they are here. So the injector codes, they are stamped on the injector itself or right at the front of the engine. If you still have that label in place, there is a label in there with 4 of those square barcodes, and they contain also the injector codes in there. But yeah, so this is my code. So I'm wondering at this point if when they did the steering lock, if they did something else that resetted the engine ECU for some reason. So we're gonna go now from here. We'll go control unit adaptations, which I think is gonna be there. Let me see if it's teaching, maybe. Yes, it is. Let me just get ignition on only. So my one is that one. That's what I need. Okay, so it tells me why and when I need to do this. Okay. Okay, and as you can see, this is the injector codes stored in there at the moment, and they are all the same. It's some sort of base code injector. Look, 304, 204, 204, 202, 1010. This is obviously wrong. I'm gonna input those codes in there, I believe, in these lines. Yeah, so we're gonna put the codes in, and then we'll proceed from there. Okay, so I have inserted all the injector codes. I've checked and double checked, make sure everything was fine. Remember, don't confuse an O with a 0. The zeros are usually crossed, so make sure you don't get that confused. And in this car, the cylinder 1, 2, and 3, and 4 is cylinder 1 is the one close to the front of the car, close to the radiator, and then number 4 is the one close to the firewall. So yeah, so I've checked and double checked, make sure everything was fine, and now we're gonna obviously try to recode these injectors. And on the maxi Cs, we're gonna press F1 to start. And on the side it shows you now the codes on the injectors, and they all are ticked, saying they have all been programmed correctly. And now we're going to press continue. It tells me the end of procedure is done, so we've done it. Press continue, completed, escape, and it's done. Now I'm gonna log out of this the engine ECU. We're going to cycle the ignition. I'm gonna leave it off for a couple minutes and then we'll try to start the engine. Okay, let's gonna start the engine. And I still have exactly the same symptoms. The car's still accelerated. I still have no response from the accelerator pedal, so I'm not really sure at the moment what's going on here. If I press the brake, the car revs normal. So we definitely had an issue with those injector codes. It's gonna just go back to the engine. Just curiosity to see what's in there now. Obviously I haven't deleted the codes earlier, which I should have done. Let's go back to the control unit adaptations. Just want to see what we have in there now, if we have the right codes. And we do have the correct codes stored, so we don't need to do nothing here. There is perhaps one thing that I'm gonna do. Am I going to do a zero teaching for this engine? I'm so sorry guys, I've pressed the continue button without recording. I'm so sorry. I've done a zero calibration for the 230 bars, which is not much more than idling really. Restart the engine and look at this. And I don't have that high rev anymore, as you can see. This is just responding fine, absolutely perfect. Look at this. So you can see it revs perfectly straight away. You've seen before I had to press the brake pedal to lower the revs. Now is doing just fine. So the injector calibration and the re-zero is sorted this problem. I'm not going to be able to go for a drive because this car has no road tax and I don't have the number plates. But I think I might just drive to the end of the road, just see what it does. But if he pulls okay, pulls okay. And yeah, it looks like we had a fix. The ESP and the airbag, well, we can do a quick scan. I've not been asked to touch that, so I'm not gonna touch it, but we can have a quick scan on it. Oh, sorry guys, pressed the wrong button. It's gonna go to chassis, ESP, so it's telling me that the brake lamp switch is defective. It's gonna go to live data. So just before that, because I forgot, which switch is telling me is faulty? S9-1. S9-1 is my first one. It's gonna press the brake pad, the brakes, and he's right, nothing happens. The handbrake is fine. ESP button, I don't even know what it is. What is the ESP button? Well, whatever. But yeah, he's not working. The S9-1 is definitely not working. I might just have a quick look. I've not been asked to look at it, but it's probably why we have the ABS and the airbag light on is because of this. Is because of this switch. Just let's gonna go back. It's gonna go to body. Tell me terminal 15 is faulty. An open circuit exists. It starts to become a little bit more. I don't know if I want to look at this without being asked. Well, don't know if I want to touch this, guys. Actually, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna terminate this video here. The problem was, well, not terminated, but I'm not gonna look at this. I've not been asked to, and I'm not gonna touch it really. So yeah, just gonna go for a quick drive up to the end of the road, come back and see how the car drives. But I don't see why the car won't drive okay. But let's gonna do it and then I'll be back. Okay, I just went for a quick drive just at the end of the road and came back, and the car is driving spot on. Was not a long drive, I know, but the car is pulling absolutely fine. I couldn't see nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I couldn't drive the car to high revs or anything like that, but it drove fine. So as for the injectors problem, like I said, I don't know why that happened, especially after the steering lock. It shouldn't. I've done this in the past, as I said. It should not influence anything else on the car. So I just don't know what they did while they were doing this, really, or if it was just a coincidence that happened at the same time. Don't know why the issue would lose all the codes, but a lot of the times I'm only told half of the story, half of the story. So it might be that something else happened that I've not been told. The same for these ESP and airbag lights. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to look at this unless I'm asked for it, because I had very bad experience in the past by trying to help fix things that I've not been asked for, and then, well, it doesn't matter, guys. This is going to be the end of the video. I've showed you, well, we have the code. I've showed you on the Maxxis how to recode the injectors. The codes, as I said, they are, actually I will show you, just if you are curious about it. I might gonna have to stop recording, but so the codes are on the injectors itself. Is a 20-digit code, so 20 digits. You're gonna find them on each injector right there. Let's see if I can focus. So it's the one that starts after the part number, the the 07 so it's the one that starts on LM125. So everything right up to the bottom, that's one code, and then you have the same on the other ones, or you have all the injector codes here, although they are kind of covered a little bit with these pieces here, so you can't really do it that well, but you can scan this code here and that will tell you the injectors. This last number is the injector number, so you don't include that. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna finish this video here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information on it that you can find it useful. If you still have any questions, any comments, guys, put them below, and like always, thank you for watching.